She's a mother in Bellevue of 4. She's the wife, as I mentioned, of former Attorney General Rob McKenna. And she's half the size she used to be. Marilyn lost 120 pounds, but more importantly, like really great gurus that people look to for inspiration. Richard Simmons is one of my favorite guys. She kept it off. How long have you kept it off for?
By the way, Richard Simmons looks way better in spandex than I do. Let's just be clear on that.
I would have to. We would have to have a dance off.
Well, we'll reserve judgment on that then.
All right. I'll bet you look great. So you've kept it off for how many years?
It'll be 7 in
7 years.
June. Yeah.
This is the amazing thing. We had Marilyn on the other day when the story broke about her and Facebook holding up her fat pants and standing in one leg of them, and Facebook banned the photo. There is new news on this. So instead of trying to get the phone, which might crap out like last time, we invited her to come in. Now, before we answer that question, you've been able to do what so many people wish they could do.
Yeah.
And I remember when I met you, I was just newly into this app where I lost like 45 pounds, and I kept it off now for like a year and a quarter. And that was a big thing. It's like keep it off for a year because I always bounce back.
Right.
What's the secret for you?
Well, it's really much more than just having been on a diet or even changed my eating. In some ways, I even feel like when we talk about lifestyle change, even that isn't big enough to describe the completely transformational way that I have changed my life.
Now, do you ever cheat though? Do you
Cheat?
would you grab one of those Snickers bars and wolf it down at some point, or is it completely verboten for you?
Not necessarily verboten, although probably the only time I would eat a candy bar would be Halloween night when, my youngest comes home, dumps all of his candy out.
But that's how Joe does it. He's like, it's Halloween, it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving.
Well, Joe's got a mom tax of 40%.
It's American Solstice Day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, when everything's a holiday and
Right, Joe?
everything's an excuse.
Well, that's the old Joe you're talking here. You
Yeah.
know, I'm ready to get some inspiration
Joe.
from
All right,
Marilyn.
so you're looking at Marilyn, you're going, whoa.
I am very
She's pretty hot,
impressed.
isn't she?
I am very impressed with what she's done. I mean,
Thank you.
unbelievably. So.
Thank you.
So, what's the story with Facebook? They banned your photo, which is seemed nutty. It's an inspirational photo.
It does seem nutty.
Yeah.
And okay, so backing up to last week, a friend of mine had suggested that the profile picture that I had on my fan page wasn't really reflective of the journey that I'd been on and all that I'd accomplished. It's just a picture of me now, the way that I look. So he said, why don't you do a before and after picture or something like that? Well, I didn't have one. So I was looking at the
Is
photos.
that because when we're heavier, we try to avoid the camera?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I know. I was looking
Yeah.
for some fatter pictures of me, and
Right.
I'm always turning side.
Did you
I'm always
destroy all those
standing
pictures?
behind somebody.
Well, I'm standing behind other people,
Right.
or I was the one
So you
taking
could just
the
see my
picture.
face.
Yeah, I did the same thing. So there aren't all that many pictures of me when I was fat. But anyway, I didn't have one before and after picture handy. So I thought, I have that picture of me when Rob and I were cleaning out the closet last summer, and I found my fat pants up on the top shelf, and I looked at them. I thought, I bet I could fit in. So I, just kind of wiggled
Why
into
did you
them.
keep them, by the way? Why did you deny them to Goodwill? I gave all my stuff to Goodwill.
I give all the other stuff to Goodwill,
Okay.
believe me. But I kept them because, I think it's important to remember where you came from, where you've been, and boy, what a reality check, to look at them. I held them up just now to look at them, and it's pretty shocking to me because there's so much denial when you're really, really big. About how really,
You know
really
what?
big
I wish
you
you
are.
were here yesterday and you had brought them in, and we could have made Smitty run his Seahawks bet off in your fat pants. So we have a video of that, by the way, if you want to see it. It's posted.
Yet another missed opportunity.
I know.
Dang it.
So, all right. So apparently there is a meeting set up with you and Facebook. Tell me about this.
Right. So
Is this because you have a powerful husband, even though he didn't become the governor? How did you get this meeting with Facebook? I can't even get Facebook. I don't even believe there's a person at Facebook.
Well, the messages that I got 2 emails from Facebook, and they were basically like form letters, essentially. The first one saying that this particular image, that is of you standing there in your pants, is not allowed because it idealizes physical appearance, and obviously I have I'm all about advocating for healthy lifestyle and healthy change, not about any kind of
they should
idealized...
remove all the Miley Cyrus stuff then, too.
They should remove 98% of what's on Facebook.
Well, I can't speak to that, but I'm not.
Are you idealizing it more than she is? I don't think so.
Well, she's pretty hot, so I mean, if I looked like that, I'd probably wear a gold lame bikini everywhere too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm not about any kind of idealized body image, so I took the photo down myself. I didn't want to offend anyone, and
Would
I
they
also
have potentially closed your Facebook account if you didn't, though? When you threaten you, what appeal do you have?
Right. I can't speak for what they might have done. I would have to ask them that in the meeting later this week. But anyway, so I didn't want to offend anyone, and I wanted to get my blog out. So I took the photo down and put up the one that had been there before, and just assuming that then everything would be okay. And then another blog another post that I tried to boost later that day, the same thing happened. It was rejected again.
Is this for your book that's coming out, or
well,
what was it for?
this was a video because I do blogs and videos on my website, MarilynMcKenna.com.
Let's get that in there.
So thank you. And so
we'll put a link to it.
There you go. And so so I was really surprised because I had taken the photo down and was assuming that everything was kind of back to where we were the day before. And this time, when it was denied, I got an email from them saying that they were rejecting it on the basis that it was now considered adult content.
Adult
content, yeah.
Your pants were half off.
Right.
I could see it from here.
Not even dressed. I mean, of course. No, so this really surprised me because, the content is about healthy living, weight loss, and fitness, and they're lumping me together with, these online websites and places that are promoting and selling weight loss products, dietary supplements.
They don't allow those.
Well, they also included me in a category with people who are, talking about sexual health. I mean, this is how they define.
If you
18
want
and
to
over.
sell a weight loss product, will a salesperson at Facebook sit down with you and take your money to sell it? Will they run ads? Do they run any? I mean,
I
they
saw
run ads.
Dr. Oz was pushing something on my Facebook page
What
2
we're
days ago.
looking at here, and this is the something we should make a point, is what Marilyn did essentially is buy an ad because you paid to have this boosted, right?
Yeah.
If you
Right.
just posted this on your private Facebook page, we wouldn't have an issue.
Right.
But
Because she has a fan page.
What you're doing
They
is
treat more like a business.
right. You're
Right,
buying an ad.
So what's interesting though to me is that in common vernacular we all think of advertising as selling something, right? But the way that Facebook is defining it is what I think most of it would consider just advocating for something. So
Right.
I'm not selling anything.
Right. No, nobody has to pay you anything for anything
Right.
yet. You will have a book someday, though, right?
Someday.
Yeah.
And the fact that Facebook requires essentially you to boost your posts, which is how they make their money, they're entitled to do that. But that's as a fan page, that's pretty much the only way you have to reach all of your followers.
They're basically saying to anybody like you who's trying to promote healthy living or better behaviors and be inspirational to other people that we don't allow that.
Well, and that you have to limit it to those over the age of 18 because that's adult content.
How much does one of these boostings cost, roughly?
It's based on how many followers you have. So at the time, I didn't have very many. I have a whole lot more.
So this whole thing has been good for your following.
Well,
How many did you start with? How many do you have now?
I had about 650 at the time.
And
I think
a
we're-
network of great people in the Seattle community who know your story and want to read. I read your blog, wanted to read your emails and blogs and get inspired that you had a little organic thing growing. And Facebook took a dump on that. And out of that compost has sprung how many followers?
We're somewhere around 3,500. But
So
it's,
this is good for you in a way.
Well, it's very-
But you need to win the battle. You need to be able to keep spreading the message.
I think we're really on the right side of this argument.
You need a spreader for this.
Yeah, there you go. Lots of good organic
All right,
material.
so who do you meet with? What's the meeting about? Tell me about that.
The meeting is for them to clarify for us, why are we being lumped into this category of adult
Where do you
content?
meet them? Do they have a kiosk somewhere? Do you have to go to?
It's all
do you
very
have to go
secretive.
to San Francisco?
Right? Well, they're gonna, pick me up in a car and then they put a hood over me.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
have no idea. I have
That's
no
really
idea.
wild. Well, where is the meeting though? Or is it on the phone? Is it a conference call? What is it?
It's a conference call,
Okay,
so
got
we'll be doing that by phone. But then the other thing that we need clarification on is once I changed the photo back, why are they then targeting me in this way? Whereas the post that I did on Thursday was disallowed, even though it's exactly the same content as it was on Wednesday.
Right.
And so why are they now classifying? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it does kind of make you think like, okay, I'm on somebody's radar now.
Yeah, you're on their you-know-what list.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm wondering just as I don't know, as a control or as an experiment, I think I have like an old members only jacket from the 80s or something I grew out of a long time ago. If I squeeze into a clothes I can no longer wear and say, I used to be able to wear this jacket, but I learned how to eat like a pig, and I can tell you how to eat like a pig. And I pay to post that picture on my fan page. I have one. I don't use it or anything. But if I put a picture of me in clothes too small and said, I can tell you the secret of how to get really fat.
I'm not sure that's going to meet their definition of idealized body image.
Well, that's what I'm wondering because it would
try it. You
would seem kind of discriminatory if I did not get flagged.
I think Marilyn's clothes that she's wearing right now would be perfect.
I know a good lawyer if you need one.
Well, I'm just wondering.
There happens to be a community of people who would appreciate Joe in very skin-tight clothing.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Well, I'm just
They'd have a lot of
But
followers.
they're not allowed to advertise on Facebook.
It would seem hypocritical. I mean, even if they did not come after me, yet they came after you.
Their rules are very arbitrary, so you never know.
All right, Marilyn, in a minute that we have left,
let's
put some positive inspiration for people. It's New Year's. A lot of people are still on diets, still trying to lose weight. Is it a diet? Is it a specific thing that works? Is it a exercise? Is it give me the 1 minute summary of your philosophy that has led you to keep over 120 pounds off for almost 7 years?
Well, basically, what I've learned is that I am worth the time and trouble that it takes to get better. I needed to be healed in a way. You don't get to be 120 pounds overweight by being emotionally healthy. I had to figure that out. I had to get to the crux of that problem. And now that I have, and I do all the things that I need to do every day, the eating healthy, the exercise, I still have to do all those things every day, and I will until they put me in the ground. Because the only diet with an expiration date that works is the day you die.
That works.
That's how long I'm going to do it.
He kept it off, and he's going to lose more.
Notice that's the root word of diet. I mean, right?
Die.
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Well, I know. And in fact, today's blog, I write about, is it a diet or is it an eating plan? People don't like the word diet, and I can understand that because it brings up all those feelings of deprivation. And I'm not about deprivation at all. That wouldn't work for me either.
What do you do for yourself good with food? And tell me in nuts and bolts of your eating plan.
Basically, I only eat 2 kinds of food. They have to meet 2 criteria. They have to be healthy, and I have to absolutely love them. Because if I don't love what I'm eating, I mean love it in I can't wait to have it on my plate. It's absolutely the most wonderful thing. It's so satisfying. If I don't feel that way about my food, I'm not going to get the kind of satisfaction out of it that I really, really need.
That'll keep you on track.
Yeah, and there's so much.
But we instinctively love stuff with all kinds of bad ingredients in it.
Right.
We
They
love
put the
fat,
stuff we love,
sugar,
yeah.
salt. You still love those things, don't you?
They would still taste good to me, certainly. But I've learned that to look beyond the immediate gratification of the way that those things taste into my longer-term goals of wanting to live in this healthier way.
You look great.
Thank you.
You feel great?
I feel fantastic.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Rob and Marilyn got some of our blueberries last summer.
They were delicious, too.
Did you freeze them, too?
No, because they didn't last that long.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you a lot of fresh vegetables, a lot of fresh fruits?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, good carbs, right? Carbs
Carbs are not evil. Who said lettuce was evil? It's all carbs. All right.
Yep.
Marilyn, nice to talk to you. I can't wait till your book comes out.
Thanks very
It'll
much.
be great for a lot of people. 8:56. Coming up, believe it or not, 49ers coach Jim Harbaugh has some really nice things to say about the Seahawks.